You are listening to the WLW Studios Radio Network, broadcasting live from Center City, Philadelphia, WLW Studio South in Studio B. This is the Midnight Jury.
This is the Midnight Jury. I am Mike Noringacher.
And I am Adam Henning.
And joining us for the first time in the studio, Tim Mayfield.
That's right. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 4 of the Midnight Jury. As we all know, we have our two niches, our two main topics every show: wrestling, horror. The last segment we did horror. We talked about Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 5 while watching it live here in the studio. This segment is on wrestling. Why don't you take this part, Adam? I will lower the music. Tell us what wrestling we're talking about, because I'm just going to get too excited if I try to announce it.
Well, this is a wrestling event that Mike here was especially excited about doing. We're early in our careers at the Midnight Jury, but right off the bat, Mike knew that he wanted to do WrestleMania 4 for the first show, and that's because WrestleMania 4 is very, very close to his heart. Now, WrestleMania 4 is something that I've enjoyed watching, as in my time as a wrestling fan, but not as much as Mike.
I think I was the only one here in the studio who was physically watching wrestling. I ordered it on pay-per-view while my uncle ordered it, who's physically watching wrestling when WrestleMania 4 aired.
That's accurate.
What year are we talking about here?
88.
I might have been physically able to watch it, but
Not remember it.
hey.
But either way,
2 years, right?
ladies and gentlemen, I swear to you, this is my favorite WrestleMania. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are shaking their heads, but for me, at that age, I thought, okay, WrestleMania 3 was nice, but did anyone else notice it kind of had a very grainy, not very, like the colors were very, like, when you turn down your color volume on your television?
Yeah.
It was like watching it on channel, like, anything below 10.
Yeah. It was just a very, bland looking.
Back in the day, though.
WrestleMania 4 looked so just triumphant and so spectacular. And, like, the Trump Plaza at the time with the big WrestleMania 4 banner. And I'm telling you, at that time for me, that was the best WrestleMania. I mean, I loved it. I really did.
WrestleMania 4 is the first event of basically the period in WWF that kind of centers around 1990. So that would include 88 to 92. That was the beginning of moving away from the rock and wrestling connection. WrestleMania 3, I think you were still firmly in that camp. WrestleMania 4 it was made evident by the quality of the picture, the sort of just the way they started doing things a little bit differently.
What the world is watching.
This opening that was used up until probably the period that I'm talking about.
That was my shit, man.
I hear you.
Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Superstars, Wrestling Challenge, then American Gladiators.
American Gladiators was great.
So, yeah, WrestleMania 4, basically what I'm trying to say is that it represents to me a little bit of a changing of the guard and moving into the late 80s, early 90s, very colorful, almost tailored for younger kids WWF.
I gotta say, I would pay serious money to run any of the gauntlets at American Gladiators. Any of them.
No, yeah, American Gladiators is awesome. I do have season 1, by the way.
Interesting. Anyway, about WrestleMania 4.
Okay, so yeah, let me give you a really fast lead up to what happened leading up to WrestleMania 4. Okay, from WrestleMania 3 to WrestleMania 4, Andre lost to Hogan. But then DiBiase really wanted the world title. And what happened is on I believe it was Saturday night's main event, or a main event, one or the other, they had a match, Hogan versus Andre for the title. And what happened is since Earl Hebner and Dave Hebner are twin brothers and referees, they paid one of them off to be their evil referee. And what happens is the referee counts 3 after Andre gives his finisher. the what is it? The
Double
underhook arm suplex.
Double butterfly.
I never knew that. He informed me about that today. I guess like he would guess like a splash on the boots when he steps on them.
Not very many people realize it, but Andre's finisher was the double underhook suplex, and he used it over and over and over. He did it very terribly, but little trivia, that was Andre's finisher. Okay,
but anyway, so what happens is he gives him that suplex, he pins him, and Hogan's arm is clearly up. He gets it up. But the ref counts 3, and then immediately after Andre is crowned the champion, he sells the belt to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and they put the belt on DiBiase. And, of course, Jack Tunney, the fictitious president, does not allow that, and then vacates the title for a tournament at WrestleMania IV, where since Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan were the last champions, they get a bye to round 2, and then it's basically the top 14 competitors in the WWF compete in a single elimination tournament, and the winner gets the belt.
I didn't realize that Andre and Hogan got that bye.
Yes, because they were the ones fighting.
They deserved it, basically.
Yes, and it was a controversial finish.
Okay.
So neither one can claim to have won the match.
It was kind of like they're such big entities that you have to start on round 2 and beat each other.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't start that in the first
round.
Well,
actually,
that's
Jesse,
such a big match.
Jesse actually says at one point during the broadcast, who's one of the announcers, Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon, my favorites of all time, probably.
They're great.
And they say, well, Hogan and Andre would be 3. And they say, well, Hogan and Andre facing each other is kind of like 2 matches.
Yeah, they're going to beat the crap out of each other so bad that
it's the equivalent.
It's like wrestling another match.
It turns into what it turns into, and fucking Hogan celebrates for 20 minutes. I got more excitement out of Hogan's celebration than that whole match. I didn't care about the match.
No, that match was good. No, it was actually good. If you watch it, it is way better than the WrestleMania. Are you talking about Hogan versus Andre?
Yeah,
that match is legitimate. There's one rest spot.
Andre cannot move.
Andre
is terrible
I
at
disagree.
moving.
I disagree.
His boots, his little.
No.
That seriously,
we need to get it on TV. Where's our cute?
When
intern?
he falls on Hogan holding the ropes, it was just him falling while he was close to the ropes. That was not planned. It was just. His
I disagree.
Move.
I think Andre actually moved pretty decently in that match,
terrible.
and it's
That's
way more exciting than WrestleMania 3's.
That's
match.
why I would believe he died shortly after that.
No,
he looked terrible.
He got the WrestleMania 6.
I thought that match was decent for what it was, but
we are getting ahead of ourselves.
I would definitely say that Hogan's scoop slam to Andre was better at WrestleMania 3 than at WrestleMania 4.
Did he scoop slam him? Because
I
thought he got hit in the back of the chair.
He does it after the match.
He does it. Okay.
Yeah, he gets his scoop slam in. So anyway, do you want to? Anything else you want to say in opening remarks before we jump right into the event?
No, we are jumping into the event. That's exactly what we're doing.
I think we're ready to do that.
This is the WrestleMania opening theme.
Well, this is...
The WWF.
Oh, no, it's not.
What the world is watching.
And here at WrestleMania 4, it continues. You hear that? And then you start getting the Trump Plaza chinging sounds of, like, the money coming out of the slot machine. Did you hear it?
And the coins,
yep.
Yeah. So let's just go into it. Okay.
All right. So anyway, WrestleMania 4, Trump Plaza, first match of the night.
Before the match, real quick, Mike and I have the Coliseum video copy. I'm not sure what you watched, Tim. We watched the Coliseum video copy.
Recently, just the YouTube video, because I don't know. I have no VCR.
Okay.
Now
we have a lot of tapes that we can watch. Anyway, the point is that they interview a jogger in the beginning before we get into the matches.
Are you talking about the blonde lady?
Yeah, and she's such a buzzkill. I forget what she says.
Wait a minute. I didn't even know we were. Here's the funny thing. I didn't know we were actually going to take notes on the little bit of like thing they had before the show, like that wasn't part of the show.
I thought that's what we were taking notes specifically on.
It made an impact on me. They interviewed this lady.
I do like that one video where it's like and it's like somebody fixing like
and little shots of them getting
like
ready for the
tape,
event. Yep,
or paint on their face,
taping up their knuckles. Yeah. So this is
and you like to call out who it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Smash, Hogan, Dad Duggan,
and Ultimate Warrior. But anyway, so before the inaugural weekend of WrestleMania 4, they had festivities in Atlantic City. One of the things was a race, right, or a jog.
Yeah.
And they interviewed
at the WrestleMania 4 5K.
It's at the beginning of the Access Tour.
Yeah, exactly. They basically display.
They interviewed Strikeforce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
terrific.
They show basically the festivities of WrestleMania weekend, which have been going on forever. They were having the same sort of
like
fan access thing going on at WrestleMania 4. Anyway, they interview this jogger that took part in the jog.
And she looks like Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, she does,
Yeah.
and she's just sort of a buzzkill. She
Let's
talks
get
about
physical.
how the jog was cold and how
She's like rough. It was rough.
yeah, she did not enjoy herself. It was too cold. The only way that she could get any relief was jogging behind somebody else.
And then she talks about how that they fucked up her time.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I do a 7-minute mile. They said I did an 8-minute mile, but I think their time was off.
And,
It was
she's like, and then it turns out they were wrong.
yeah, they couldn't have gotten a better
I didn't write notes for
jogger.
this. Wasn't prepared.
So I thought that was kind of stupid to include like a bitter fan runner. So that's before WrestleMania.
Now, even before the Battle Royal, I want to point out, did anybody notice back then the announcers really friggin' sold everything?
Yeah,
when they come in,
definitely.
they make that tournament sound so important. So that for me,
They're like,
all it was a
"Cowboy
WrestleMania."
JBD." I have no idea who that is.
Sam
Yeah, no,
Houston.
but for me it was like no, I'm not talking about the Battle Royal, but for the
I'll
tournament,
say
when
that.
they're talking about the tournament, they talk about it like it's so important. And for me at the time, it was like every match that was part of the tournament was a main
Mean
event.
Gene really fucking. When he's talking to Vanna White, he's like, "We got here, we got."
Yeah,
Oh,
and
good
Gorilla
job,
and
man.
Jesse, they're like talking
Yeah,
about
great.
how important it is. We're gonna find it all out right now. Like it's just they really sell it. And then the Battle Royal
I think
starts.
Euchre definitely fucking.
Who wants to start on the Battle Royal?
He was good.
The announcers definitely do a good job of keeping the pace, and they're two of the best, no doubt about it. But just real quick, I mentioned how why haven't they had WrestleMania at Trump Plaza since? I feel like that they should go back.
They've had SmackDowns.
Yeah, they should
I think
definitely do
it's
it.
because you can't with today you can't build a legit set
Oh yeah, good point.
without
And,
filling
yeah,
more
and the
seats.
places
They should
doesn't
just-
fill. It's not a big place.
Yeah,
They should
that's back then.
When
That's
they can
big
sell
for
out
that.
MetLife Stadium or whatever, they're not going to go to Trump Plaza.
Yeah, that
I-
back
on the
then that's
boardwalk.
a fucking tremendous crowd.
No,
back
I
then.
agree, but
I think they
still.
should do a homecoming. I think whatever.
Just for fun.
Yeah, they go to.
Well, next year's right at Madison Square Garden.
They should
WrestleMania
do.
Small.
I don't mind
Small.
small entrance ways. I think sometimes you should sacrifice small entrance ways, and the aura of the arena is more important. The small entrance way, MSG, it's just how you do it. So I can go with the smaller entrance way. I kind of have here now that we're at the Battle Royal.
We are at the Battle Royal, first match of WrestleMania 4.
Why
trophy.
the Battle Royal? My theory was to just get
I have
as
no
many
problem with that. I
wrestlers.
don't think- why a
into
trophy?
Yeah, well, just to get as many
Because
wrestlers
back
into
then
the
it
show as
meant more.
possible, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would think so.
Because they get
And
a
just to get the
bonus.
Bret Hart changing story.
Yeah,
They get
that's,
that
I
out of
think
it,
it had to do with.
and that sets up more.
I think
than
it's set up. I think
a
it
match
set up
of
Bad News becoming a bigger heel to set up because at the time, and I said this on our Facebook page, at the time, whenever I went to house shows, Bad News fought Hogan for some reason during that time.
It's a
Okay,
bad
so-
mother.
Yeah, it basically made Bad News legit, and it basically made Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation more of a face, and separated them more from the Hart family, Jimmy Hart.
Okay.
I think Bad News made Zeus, and just to throw that out there, he made Zeus by fighting Hogan all those times. And being
Does anybody
that
else
superior
notice
man.
that? And I don't mean to be like gay about it, but how low Bad News' balls always hung.
No.
It just seemed like a little extraneous, just a little too much. They were just always hanging.
Bad News, bro.
Bad News
Bad
Brown.
News, bro.
But I feel as though
The Ghetto Blaster, by the way, awesome move, and he does it great to Bret
Awesome
Hart.
name.
Yeah, I agree.
that is an awesome name. I feel like at the time that there was a reason for everything they did. They followed through with storylines.
Yeah.
So now that you're saying it, the Battle Royal makes sense. It was
And I
setting up
liked
Bret
it as
Hart.
a first match,
Mm-hmm.
just
It was
because it
exciting.
gets people, going. But here's what I didn't get about it: George the Animal Steel.
Never
Oh,
entered,
Yeah,
right?
what the hell is going
What is
on?
the problem with that? He comes out to the Rumble, gets announced, takes his shirt off, and just stays on the outside.
Yeah.
You know-
Eliminates
then-
one guy and then leaves.
Yeah, because he just holds the rope.
Yeah,
Why?
he
Why?
never gets in the ring. Now I'm thinking he might have been injured. Maybe I tried looking it up
And just
I
be
didn't-
there. Why not come out with fucking?
I don't
someone
know,
else later?
but here's the other weird thing. He came out and then and there's points, and I love Gorilla Monsoon, but there's points where Gorilla feels like he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah, here's the exact quote. I wrote it down. I didn't get a soundbite of it, but Gorilla says George Steele was in for the introduction, and Jesse goes, He was never in there, Gorilla.
Yeah.
He was never in the ring.
very
I think he's
clear.
been thrown out of there.
Yeah, I think he was
he's
thrown
never
out.
He's never been in there. You fucking
Why was he
idiot.
never in the ring? Why even?
No need to be there.
It was stupid. That
You know
whole
what?
idea.
Still, that shot of him taking off that red sweater is classic shot. That's a classic shot. Just like Bobby, you were getting choked in this event.
Who did he eliminate? He pulled somebody out of the ring.
Anvil?
Yeah, I think
he
it was
like
Neidhart.
first.
I think it was Anvil. But anyway, so that's the battle royal. Bad News ends up turning. It ends up being Bad News, JYD, and Hitman, and Bad News and Hitman basically become a team to get rid of Junkyard Dog, eliminate him, and then Bad News turns on the Hitman, tosses him out, and wins the trophy. And then of course Bret Hart comes in and destroys the trophy.
Which everyone loves because Bad News is the baddest of the bad.
Yep,
And that
from
trophy
Harlem.
means evil owns it.
This battle royal, just nostalgia made me miss World War III from WCW.
I love World War III.
Yeah,
I'm glad we were able to bring in WCW.
Yeah, it's good. We can't. You guys can't have
Now-
a segment without it.
I got this. I just want to point this out. I said earlier that the announcers really sold things. Now, as we were talking, as so stupid as a battle royal is, the winner really doesn't matter. They really don't whatever. But back in the 80s, they sold it. They sold like, oh, he's gonna get the winner's share of the purse. He's gonna,
they
and
say
they
that.
give him and the trophy. They made a reason to win. Like they brought that trophy down first, so that was the first
That
thing you
trophy's
saw. So you have to
badass.
remember, in the 80s, that was they're gonna win this trophy. And in Japan, they do that. They win trophies, and like so they made it like that. But I want to point out, after Bad News wins, they don't just say, "Oh, he wins the battle royal," whatever. Maybe this is. I actually have the sound clip. I want to play it. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Let me make sure the sound is up.
Super excited.
They really sell like him winning as something that matters. Like Jesse really. Here it is.
Bad News victorious here at the expense of the Hitman, who it seemed that he had formed a pact with, Jess. Well, it seemed that way, but like I said...
But see how they explain everything, like down to the detail. Like
Thought him and Bret Hart were gonna split it,
Yeah, like,
Equal.
and they make it very clear about that. So let me just rewind a real quick second,
They
and here we go.
tell exactly what happened.
All right, here we go.
He had formed a pact with, Jess. Well, it seemed that way, but like I said, all's fair in love and war. Look at the size of the trophy. And more important than the
Here it
trophy,
is.
what this is going to do for Bad News, it's going to jump him in the World Wrestling Federation standings, put him right in line for possible title shot down the road. Absolutely.
Like they make it seem like, oh, it's gonna jump him in the standings. He's gonna get in line for a possible title shot. Like,
Yeah.
they made it seem so important, and it was such a throwaway match.
Yeah, without that announcing and without them planting that idea in the viewer's head, the battle royal is a little bit pointless.
Yeah.
But
And they do it for every match of the card. Like they take the time out and care about every person in every match and selling every person.
nowadays WWE, it's all centered around the main storyline going on, the main event feud. Most of the show centers around this one or two feuds, and then the rest of the card is just filler. And they talk about the main event feud during the rest of the card. Very little respect is paid to those lower matches, like
Yeah.
it was at the time.
Yeah.
What happened to Bad News Brown after this period? How much longer did he stick around?
Well, I like I said, I used to go to house shows during that time, and I saw him fight Hogan probably at 3 house shows.
When did he fight Piper? WrestleMania 3, right?
6.
Oh,
That's
6.
That's when Piper dressed half black.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That Piper.
Speaking of
he's always
racism
out
in
there.
WWE or WWF, not WWE, because WWE is so conscientious, but in WWF, I got a soundbite for you later on. We'll get to that.
And
But regardless of that, and aside from Piper dressing in blackface, which is not offensive at all,
speaking of racism, I'm also wearing an Akeem shirt right now.
and I'm
You
wearing my Shining Wizards t-shirt. And by the way, if you listen to wrestling nowadays, or if you watch wrestling nowadays, and you watch WWE, you watch TNA, whatever, go over to ShiningWizards.com. They're on Stitcher Radio. They're on. You can go to their website, which is ShiningWizards.com, and get their episodes. They're awesome. They've had tons of guests, and I have to give a shout out because they're our buddies. So regardless, okay. So the battle royal ends, and we get the first match, which is DiBiase.
Oh wait,
and
before you go on, I just have to say, bad news Brown's like Insecurity to the back of Bret Hart's neck.
The Ghetto Blaster.
That's the Ghetto Blaster?
That's the Ghetto Blaster.
I was totally forgetting what it was.
So awesome.
He gives one of the best Insecurities to the head. He hits so
good,
on Bret Hart's
and he
head.
rails him. And that, honestly, as a kid, that move, like as a
not
kid,
aware
I
that
was
was the Ghetto
scared of
Blaster.
it. I was like, if he was wrestling, not me, but if he was wrestling one of my guys, I was like, oh man, like you gotta watch out for that Ghetto Blaster. It legit looks like it fucking kills.
I think, I know what you're saying with that. Like the way when Owen Hart hit Shawn Michaels with it, Insecurity, and after he had the concussion, and he gets all dizzy in the ring. I kind of feel like that would do that to me if I got hit right with
Definitely.
Insecurity.
I think Bad News was also an effective,
Lost his smile. I'm sorry, I'm throwing it off.
mean-seeming heel. Like, I wouldn't have wanted any of my favorite wrestlers to face Bad News. He seemed like a legit, like, threatening guy.
Like, he seems like one of those wrestlers that, like, wrestling is fake. But, and I don't say fake like that, believe me. I worked with a lot of guys, and they would kill me for saying this, so I apologize to the WLW guys. It's not fake at all. But we know it's scripted. But Bad News seemed like the guy who, if you saw him outside the arena, you still wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
Still
like,
fight you in there.
Yeah, like, exactly. I would still not want... I wouldn't even want to ask for his autograph. Nothing.
You cross the street, he'd
God
follow
rest
you
his
and
soul.
just beat you in the alley.
But anyway, the first match of the first round, we are now in the championship tournament. First round is DiBiase Duggan. Now, before that match, there's a promo, and I was just getting it ready. To me,
Are you going to play the promo?
I have the promo, and I will play it if you want. It is, to me, a phenomenal heel promo. He gets across everything, and now this happens throughout the show. This is another reason why I love this show. Constantly throughout the show, every wrestler is getting across their storyline, their character, everything. And DiBiase in this first promo, to me, this is like awesome.
I definitely want to hear this first because my next segment, is exactly after this.
All right, let's check this out. This is awesome.
I didn't listen to this today.
With Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man, back in the dressing room area. Let's go to him now.
All right, thank you very much, Gorilla and Jesse, and we are in the plush locker room of the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, Virgil alongside me. Of course, moments away now for the big matchup against Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the first step in your parade in the championship tournament.
Well, little man, I have graciously allowed you and the rest of you penny-pinching peons out there the opportunity to come into my locker room and take a look around and see what true class really lives like. That's right, it's something else.
Yeah, so the guy announcing goes, oh, it's something else. He's like, you're damn right it's something else. And it's so funny looking back on it because it's just like a VCR.
I was going to say, you said it was a VCR.
Yeah, it's like a VCR and a television on a plant.
A couple fake plants, yeah.
It's
86?
Well, no, because it's funny, because back then, of having a VCR and a nice big old, woo!
Leather couch.
Yeah.
Nice 36 TV.
It was so funny. But either way, keep going. But DiBiase, man, he sells it.
You'll never find the $1 million man in some stinking, dingy locker room with a bunch of bubbling buffoons.
Awesome.
I have too much class, character, and dignity to lower myself to that level. This is a locker room fit for a king, and a king I will be today. Today, I will be the undisputed World Wrestling Federation heavyweight.
Let's get into that a little more detail now. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the first step.
This makes the King of the Ring tournament.
One after that, if you get by,
This is the tournament that makes that
little man, let me
thought.
tell you something. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is probably the lowest class of all of them.
But see how God, why can't I remember his name? The guy doing the interviewing. But when he says, if you get by Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he ends up getting pissed at him here and kicking him out because he questioned him. Listen.
And he steps in the ring with me, he is just stepping in way over his head, and there is no if in my dictionary, little man. I graciously allowed you to come in here, and you're disputing what I say. As far as I'm concerned, this interview is over, and I'm going to go take care of business right now.
DiBiase had such a good wrestling voice.
So good.
What a deep, authoritative, oomph
and
to
he
his
didn't
voice.
need to scream. He got loud at the end when he was mad at him. But just the way he spoke, it was just so putting down on the other wrestlers because it's not like, I forget what words, they were simple words, but you're disputing what I say. Like, disputing is not a Harvard word, but for a wrestler, it is. Mm-hmm. So he's using these words to kind of put down his opponents.
Especially somebody like Hacksaw.
Oh God,
Well, Hacksaw
such a good promo. So either way, that match is now happening. Do you guys have any notes on that?
By WrestleMania 4, I finally learned that I hate Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I absolutely, I don't.
Is this the one where he had the snot hanging out of his nose, or is that another wrestler?
That became like a usual thing. Like he needed to have the snot.
I don't remember the snot hanging out of his nose at this one, but I put here. I was wondering while watching it if it's the best match of Duggan's career.
You really think it was?
It could be. It's not like an overly complex match, but it's a decent match.
No, I actually have that.
I hate Hacksaw.
No,
I didn't even read it.
Well, no, I have the notes that say. Well, I actually thought that it was a good match, and I was shocked that Duggan put on such a good match. But I wrote that in the few parts it looked bad, because there was a few parts it looked a little but most of the match was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I wrote Duggan makes
that.
even DiBiase look bad in a few little parts, but DiBiase makes Duggan look good the rest.
Yeah, I agree.
Another
100%.
thing on this, they came out to no music.
Yeah, that was
not all of them.
Listen. I'm upset that they come out to no music. It's boring. But you know what? As soon as Duggan comes out first, that crowd knows he's there and he's fucking.
Yeah, when he
like
puts up that
with
American
I
flag.
like that.
Did he have the American flag or just the 2x4?
I think he just had the 2x4. He was just owing away.
Oh, okay, but the one thing
They were
I
into
have
it,
is the one thing I'm wondering is, and they say they have Robin Leach come out at the beginning and like
read the sermon
top
of WWF.
14 competitors in the WWF.
None of the fans care.
Yeah, well,
until he did his ending line, no one knew who the fuck.
No, but hold on.
He was.
If it's the top 14 competitors, tell me why Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Greg Valentine or Dino Bravo are in this tournament.
Or Don Morocco.
No, we'll fight about Don Morocco.
We'll go into Don Morocco.
No, but hold on. Why are those guys in this tournament? Duggan, Bravo, who else did I name? Oh, Valentine.
Ugh.
Why are they in this tournament and Harley Race and
face,
Junkyard
big hair.
Dog are not?
Or Bad News Brown.
Yeah.
All
That
these guys
tournament
are better
completely
wrestlers.
We should do that one day.
Not
Make the
Valentine.
tournament that should have happened. In
No,
WrestleMania
Valentine,
4.
I mean, he's okay, but here's the problem with Valentine. He had a very weird shaped
IC,
body.
that's it. Keep him in the
and
IC
he
title.
never wore...
And a weird face.
And he never wore knee pads, and he had very chicken legs.
That's why I
So
call
if you
him
have
the show.
chicken legs, you either wear tights, or real full tights, or like knee pads to cover your chicken knees.
That's true.
And he does the
very
figure 4,
thin-
which you have to see the knees constantly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Valentine had the worst
I
wardrobe for
seriously
his
hate
body.
Valentine's face, his hair, his gimmick,
We're
his
getting
wrestling
ahead.
style. It doesn't matter. I'm on
We're
Greg
about to
Valentine.
get to
I hate
The
him.
Rock Don Morocco.
Wait, real quick.
I don't know.
But DiBiase wins that match.
I think I should cover this now.
Oh, with Andre and Virgil, by the way. I want to point this out because it will come up
Well, if you
in
have
the
Andre and Virgil,
later.
you should win.
No, I agree, but DiBiase is the better wrestler
Virgil
anyway.
alone, you should win, right?
No, fuck Virgil.
I
In
just
the NWO, Vincent, you have Vincent by your side, you're winning it.
Yeah, I like Vincent.
It's not
but
always true, but it should be.
I would like to say right here real quick, because it's something that comes up later in the event over and over. I feel that they should have come up with a entrance theme for, I mean, I'm sure everybody feels this way, for DiBiase by this point. I
felt the exact same way about Brutus the Barber.
But when they came out with
because
his theme
he
song,
traded,
it was great.
It was
he
great.
became
Great
Brutus
song.
the Barber at WrestleMania 3, legit. Because he came out during the Piper Adrian Adonis match
Is that
and cut
versus
the
a
hair.
genius? Is a genius involved? Yeah.
No.
When is
But
a
what
genius?
I'm
I don't
saying
know.
is, by this point, this was a year later. They should have had Brutus's music.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase should have had the music.
So he had nothing on the Coliseum.
No, in the original, he did not have any music.
Nothing.
What the fuck did they?
So anyway,
They put
put in
music in
there?
it.
What did they put in there? I heard him come
by
out
the
with something
way,
later on, not the
right.
Okay.
By the way, right after this Ted DiBiase Duggan match, Brutus the Barber has a promo, and he's another good example of what I'm talking about. He sells his character. He talks about the fine steel blades honed to the sharpest edge. Like, I mean, and he sells that character.
Right here. I just had a problem with something that made me giggle, and I was also upset about it. Mean Gene points to Beefcake's like
Tights.
He points right to his dick, and he's like, and says, "What a package!"
Really?
Mean Gene say, "Oh my god!"
Oh yeah, he does say what a package.
That was a terrible
What a
Mean
package.
Gene. He said, "What a package we have here!"
That's so
Screw
funny.
him
Well,
on
you're
suit
doing
again,
Jim
but-
Ross being Mean Gene.
But anyway, it just upset me, and I don't know.
Weirded you out. I'm sure thoroughly. I
I'm
mean,
sure it was nothing. Of course, it was nothing near that, but it was just weird. I watched it today. I watched it this morning.
Well, he was talking about his cut clothes, right?
Yeah, but he points right at his penis and says, "What a package."
So, wow.
No, he's right. Now that I'm gonna actually rewatch, I'm gonna find a way to get that up
I wrote
online.
it down. I wrote it down
That's
as a
funny.
note to remember.
That's really
because
funny.
it just
That's really
threw
funny.
me
And
off.
I've said to them on the ride here, of every WrestleMania, of every event ever in the history of wrestling, I know WrestleMania IV better than any event ever, and I really never picked up to the fact that he was literally pointing at his stuff and saying, "What a package." The next match was the second match of the first
Bravo
round.
Rocco?
Yes, it was Dino
Okay, here
Bravo
we go.
versus The Rock.
I didn't
The
bother.
real Rock.
I didn't bother.
If you smell what Don Morocco is cooking.
I watched Dino Bravo's entrance. I watched Dino Bravo's entrance, and then Don Morocco was coming out. I just fast forwarded. I got to one point where I liked when Bravo did Morocco's move, the pile driver. I like that pile driver.
I'm actually gonna look at
Yeah.
where's my WrestleMania 4 notes that
I was just skipping through, and I saw him give a pile driver, so I rewound real quick and watched it.
It was a good
It was,
pile
it
driver,
was,
right?
it was
Alright.
for then. It was a great.
I
Pile
just
driver.
want to point out, because I don't have the time on this match, so I'm actually gonna really quickly, if I have it in the studio, check. If I have the time on this match, there's no way this match could have been more than 6. I mean,
8
good, no,
tops.
we got the times.
Well, while you're looking for the time, my impressions. First of all,
4:54.
Not
Okay,
bad.
you ready for this? There were 2 blown
It
spots
seemed a lot longer.
and 2 rest spots.
I wrote in my notes that it was a very sloppy match.
But that, I don't blame that on Don Morocco. I blame that on Dino Bravo.
I don't
blame that
know.
on the
man.
whole-
Dino Bravo sucked. And if you watch later Don Morocco's match with DiBiase, much better.
I think this match happening in this event was a mistake. So I
No,
just
but they're
didn't
not
bother.
meant to wrestle each other. They're just
That's why it goes. It's a mistake.
but
Jury
Besides, they're
deliberation.
outdated.
come on, hold on, time out. When Morocco got hung in the ropes, that looked sick.
Wait.
When he got like hung in the top ropes, like when Mankind got his ear ripped off.
Real quick, I'd just like to say that I am definitely putting the blame for the sloppy match more so on Don Morocco.
No, come on.
And later on, we just talked about how DiBiase could carry pretty much anybody. He
Yeah.
carried Don Morocco, in my opinion. Also, real quick, before we move on, I thought it's weird that Don Morocco comes out to Jesus Christ Superstar as his entrance theme.
I think that was Superstar Billy Graham.
Oh, okay. That must be it.
They mentioned it in the video.
Yeah, that's
in the
Superstar Billy
WrestleMania
Graham.
4, they mentioned Billy Graham, but did he come? He came out with somebody. He came
No,
out.
he came out with
Morocco.
he
They
came
wore
out with
the
Morocco.
tie-dye
And they wore the
together.
tie-dye
Yeah,
together.
And Jesse Ventura's like, that's mine.
And I thought the ending to this match was pretty good.
When
When Dino Bravo kind of pulls the ref, and you don't really know what's going on, but then they realize that the ref did realize that Dino Bravo was the one who pulled him in front.
and real
I'm glad you
quick,
watched most of this because I remember the ending that it was he called it on him.
I'd also like to say that Don Morocco's physique definitely got like much more muscular and like
I'm
well
so excited for
w-
this.
well
became
toned
like
by this
a-
point.
I mean, I think he just became like a fucking. He had old man strength. It was just old man body, old man strong body.
I am
He,
so
he
excited
looked
for the next
older
part. You guys
in
have
the
no
in
idea.
the in the couple years prior. He actually looked older and more flabby. So I guess he started doing more steroids by this point. Anyhow, yes, when his neck gets caught in the ropes, I wondered. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
That whatever. It looked
It looked
fucking
good.
awesome.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah,
That looked good.
He gets
It looked as though he was actually
I do like that in wrestling.
meant to go over the top rope,
Back then.
and he got caught.
Yeah.
Because they don't do anything with the spot. All they do is get him out of it. Because it was like, oh shit, and he looks like
Legit,
he is
wow.
choking. Yeah.
Well, the ropes were probably definitely different back then.
Very
Definitely not
loose,
designed,
yeah.
Not designed for
okay. So check it out.
strangling a man.
The next
Correct.
match is Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But before that happens, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat has literally, like, I have considered this always, and I said this on the Facebook page, facebook.com/WLW Studios. I've said this before. This is one of the biggest boner promos ever. He knows, okay, it's wrestling. It's a story. He knows he's going out there and losing right away to Greg the Hammer Valentine. Why is he going to cut a promo with his wife and his child in what I guess is supposed to be his house with all filled with, like, 80s white leather?
Yeah.
And he's like,
State of the art at the time.
yeah, and he's like, I just want to tell everybody that that the rest of my career, especially this match and tonight and this night, is going to be dedicated to my son. It's all dedicated to my son. blah, 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 blah. He brings the kid out to the ring with him.
Dressed like him.
Dressed like him, yeah.
And loses to Greg the Hammer Valentine. Now, we'll get into how he lost, but why would he cut this promo? If he knew he was leaving WWF and he knew that he was losing in this match, why would he cut this promo? Why wouldn't he be like, fuck you, I'm leaving? Like, so I'm not cutting that stupid promo to make me look stupid.
Well, Bret Hart famously said that Vince McMahon, upon the wrestler leaving, always tries to make them look bad. No doubt about it. I bet you Vince McMahon told him that this is what he would have to do. You have to cut a promo with your son and you have to cut a promo with your son and your wife if you want to appear at WrestleMania and collect that bonus paycheck that you get for going to WrestleMania. Otherwise, you'll finish your contract. You'll wrestle matches on Superstars or whatever. But if you want this WrestleMania bonus, this is what we're doing.
Okay, number one. Hammer. There's one point where Hammer either kicks or Dragon kicks Greg the Hammer off of him, and he completely oversells a run to the buckle and hit the buckle. He barely kicks him off.
Maybe he's just that tired. That
Okay,
real.
so he completely oversells that now. And then, hold on. Okay, Ricky Steamboat, did anyone else notice during the match he fucking grabs the ref and chucks him across the ring?
Yeah,
and doesn't get disqualified for it. Why not?
Yeah, that's not Steamboat type sportsmanship.
Yeah, and anybody else, I feel like any heel would have gotten disqualified.
Yeah, no, and
but you said he was leaving the company right after this.
Yeah.
So maybe it was.
Well, this is how the ending. Now we can get to the ending. This is why I think there was something weird going on.
I just want to mention Greg the Hammer Valentine's enduring. I'm talking a lot about physiques, but no matter if you're talking Steamboat in the mid '80s, Valentine in the mid '80s, Valentine 1990, or later in his career when he was in WCW as a jobber, his body always looked the same. Just like Flair's body always looked the same. So it's like no matter what age they are, they look the exact same. Yeah. Just wanted to mention that.
And I want to mention that I want to
adapted in our eyes.
Yeah, that's true.
Really quickly, let me apologize to everybody. I've had a lot of sound bites, and I really thought that I had a sound bite for this. And I guess I just forgot to upload it or whatever. I don't have it. But I'll figure out a way to play it in another show or something, because it's just too funny. But he ends up losing the match, so tell him how it happens.
So Steamboat goes for his flying crossbody off the top rope. He hits it, but it's almost like he overshoots it, and Valentine's able to roll over and roll Steamboat up for a small package. 1, 2, 3. As they get up, Steamboat's pissed off because he just got pinned, signaling that Valentine was grabbing tights.
And Monsoon was going with it.
Well, the thing is, Monsoon is telling the viewers, yes, you got a handful of tights there.
Yeah.
But the viewer clearly
is watching an instant replay. There was no grabbing.
There was no tights grabbed. And
so Greg Valentine, if you're listening to this, and Ricky Steamboat, if you're listening to this, Hammer won that match clean as anything.
And that Steamboat didn't even give a struggle.
Yeah.
So it was like a wiggle, and he was done.
I think it goes further to show that we think that McMahon engineered this situation where he told Steamboat, don't worry about it, you're going to lose, but it's going to be cheating, it's not going to be fair and square, he's going to get a handful of tights, and then McMahon goes and talks to Valentine and says, listen, he thinks you're going to get a handful of tights. Make it go down there.
That's the funniest way possible.
Don't you think? No, it's possible.
Make it seem like
screw job. No.
Make it seem like to Steamboat that you're grabbing his tights. Get your hand down by his ass, whatever. But you don't grab tights. Don't grab tights. I guess Gorilla Monsoon was still under the impression that was going to be the finish of the match, that he had to go along with this tight story. But very clearly, he does not grab Steamboat's tights. Steamboat loses fair and square, completely disgraces his family after building up this new phase in his career. Weird WrestleMania moment.
So anyway, deeper than I ever thought.
After that match, there's a quick British Bulldogs, Coco Beware, and Mean Gene promo, where it seems that Coco Beware is very high on cocaine.
Yeah.
Extremely high on cocaine.
I wouldn't bet. I gotta tell you, as soon as I saw Matilda and they started talking about Matilda, I just skipped it.
Oh, I don't know. I like Matilda. I never had a problem with that.
No, yeah, I don't, but Yeah.
The next thing that happened after that promo was, and I finally have his name, Greg DeGeorge.
Okay.
So we got his name. He actually, and this is another thing I love about wrestling back then. The promo for this, like the backstage interview where this guy comes in with a package and he's delivering it to Bobby the Brain Heenan, and he follows him to the Bobby the Brain Heenan's dressing room. I have a soundbite if we want. That literally it was just so like bad lighting, and it was like down in the cellar of Trump Plaza, like, or in like a side hallway.
Yeah.
And it just looked like a real like this is a breaking report. Now everything's so clean and just movie.
It seemed as though
It
they
really
were
was
going into
happening.
the hallway of the hotel.
Can I hear this clip?
I have the clip.
And
This
it-
one I have.
And it was not planned. Nowadays, there would have been perfect lighting and everything would have been set up perfectly for it. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It seemed very impromptu.
Let's go now to a special report with Greg DeGeorge.
Hi again, everybody. We are up here
By the way, did you hear Akeem's music playing in the background?
Yeah.
for the Trump Plaza exclusive dressing room area. Got a real crazy story, only way we can put it. We have a word that a courier is delivering some kind of package. He did the WrestleMania. Here he is. In fact, Trump's going to get to work. Could you tell us what's in the package we understand?
I have no idea. I just
Is
delivered.
that thing delivered to Mr. Bobby the Brain Heenan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you see? Look, now.
And of course, Bobby's the best.
What's delivered to Mr. Heenan? Could you just show us?
I have no idea, sir. It's sealed tight. I can't tell
Did
you.
you
I
see
have
anything
no idea.
put in there?
No, I did not.
What's delivered to Mr. Heenan?
And Bobby gets so mad at Greg DeGeorge.
Hi, Mr. Heenan. Craig DeGeorge. Craig DeGeorge.
Off here. I know who you are. I know who you are real well. Turn these lights off right now on this camera.
If I could, Mr. Heenan, we got a word that there was something pertaining to your WrestleMania match, something obviously significant.
Sounds
Delivered.
like
Just want to know
Office
what's in the box.
Space.
If you could.
It's none of your business what's in the box, Uncle William.
Listen to how good Bobby does this.
Don't
It's so
be
mad.
intrusive at all, but
I don't know why you're here.
Here it is.
What's in this box belongs to me. And it's for my own personal use. It's none of your business. I told you to turn that camera off, Joker.
big deal.
Joker.
Is there security around here?
No, we don't need to upset you or anything, Mr. Heenan. We just wanted to...
Oh, what's in that box is my business. Not your business, anybody else's business. WrestleMania is sold out. There's millions of people watching. You got millions of people
look
all
at
over the world.
selling the
Somebody
show.
sell to somebody else. Wait in the lobby for the next mail
Are
ship
you
to
hiding
come.
something from
Not hiding, nothing. I don't have to hide anything. You can hide no... Why don't you hang around the lobby when somebody walks in with a package, follow them up the back stairs and sneak in and look and see what's in the package.
He gets so flustered when he gets mad.
Well, you did upset. Well, none of your business. You want to know what's in this package?
Would you tell us?
Sure.
Slams the door in his face. Bobby Heenan used to get, when he got flustered, he played it so well, like he was so upset.
Yeah, it seemed like you were dealing with a real guy actually pissed at somebody trying to get in his business.
And they filmed it so, just like, it wasn't so movie. It wasn't so perfectly lighted.
Yeah, it was like it was a real life situation, as if you were filming a real life situation.
Yes, it was awesome.
So next we have One Man Gang versus Bam Bam
No,
Bigelow.
you're off.
No?
No. The next match was the Natural Butch Reed versus Macho Man, and this time
Why were they playing Slick's music?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, go on though.
But either way.
What matches happen? Slick had to come. No. Slick comes out with Butch Reed. That's the only thing that happens.
Yeah, Slick
Oh,
comes out with
yeah,
Butch
there you
Reed.
go.
There you go.
Listen, I have one thing.
Oh, Macho Man comes out in blue, by the way. This is Macho Man in blue and Elizabeth in blue.
I think if Slick decided to be Butch Reed, he would be Ernest the Cat Miller.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think both
Wow.
of them combined made Ernest the Cat.
Wow,
Yeah.
they are. They're the same.
Slick dances,
If-
Butch has the hair. And
If Butch
Butch has the
Reed
skin
and
color.
Slick had a baby, it'd be Ernest the
I
Cat
think
Miller.
I think it's the right timing too.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
That was good.
Butch Reed literally
I
has the
noticed
same.
this today. I just
That was
was like, what?
legit.
And Ernest the Cat Miller is a mix of their two physiques. A little bit skinnier, maybe a little bit shorter. Very light skin, just like Butch. That's a good point. Same sort of nose as Butch, too.
You're so fucking specific. Adam.
But do we have any notes on that match? I thought
I
that
don't.
match was pretty
No,
standard.
I have nothing
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, no, it was a standard match. All right, the next thing that happens in the event is, the reason we're gonna mention it because it's a promo. It's Heenan and the Islanders promo against the Bulldogs and Coco Beware. And the reason I actually starred this promo is because it's just another example of why Bob Uecker is the best celebrity guest that they've ever had at a WrestleMania or at a WWF event. He knows everything about like every character, every storyline. Plus, he has his own storyline looking for Vanna White during WrestleMania 4.
He's a good sport. He really is.
Well, or was he really into wrestling? I mean, that's something I'd like to know because he just knew everything.
Jesse Ventura, like, you know, and everybody else messes with him the whole time about his career, and he takes it really well.
In WrestleMania 3, he kind of had the hots for Moolah. And he says, you didn't get me too good last year with Moolah in WrestleMania 4. Like, so he's even going back to, like, I feel like he knows what's going on. But, so the next match then is Bam Bam versus One Man Gangs.
I love One Man Gang. I love One Man Gang regardless of whether he's Akeem or the One Man Gang.
I did not realize he was Akeem until this day.
That is crazy.
Same guy.
Yeah.
I did not know.
See, even as a kid, I knew that they were the same because they didn't separate them much.
I just like gimmicks like that. I like big guys. You know, like just like with
I wish I had
costumes.
Slick's music to play.
But yeah, I like
He's
the
a
One Man
one-man
Gang
gang.
a lot. And
Yeah,
then,
isn't that hilarious?
and then
Makes no sense.
I also wrote, what the hell is up with Bam Bam Bigelow's music? It's like...
What was it?
Oh, yeah.
That's Coco Beware's that I'm actually humming right now. But it was something
that was
really
the Price
stupid.
Is Right. It sounded like...
It was.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. But no, Coco Beware's was bird, 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 ba-da, bird, bird, bird.
No, you saying bird? Or did it
Everybody
actually
get
say
up,
bird?
because the Birdman's in town.
Yeah.
Bird, bird, bird. It's so bad. Yeah, but that was it.
But Bam Bam Bigelow's music is terrible. It's
I
not...
think it was near, far, wherever.
Yes, Bam Bam came out.
He actually wrote that song for Celine Dion. But, yeah, his music is terrible. It does not match his character at all.
He doesn't match it with Humperdinck either, his manager.
No.
Comes out with a little, like, troll that looks
No,
like
yeah,
it should
who
be
is
an
that
Are You
guy?
Afraid of the Dark, Dr. Vink?
It's
Oh, we're going already ahead. But, I mean, come on. It was ridiculous.
So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about that match. Is the
I have to
music.
say I liked the ending. Because it was when Slick pulled the ropes and pulled Bam Bam over the top, and it counted out.
Yeah, what's up with the ref seeing that but pretending he didn't
Yeah,
see
he
it?
totally saw it. He totally saw it. And then Humperdinck was like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
And he had his little shiny... Everybody had, like, very sparkly thing. Like, all the managers.
Yeah.
Very sparkly stuff.
Was that
Okay.
the only person that...
I'm sorry. We're to Hulk Hogan's promo.
okay.
This is This is my favorite Hulk Hogan promo ever. Who wants to talk about it?
Well, I thought it was brilliant.
Brilliant. It goes completely off topic.
Ultimate Warrior style, but like Hogan. Basically, this proves that Hogan is kind of Ultimate Warrior's inspiration.
We hope you've stuck with us because this is friggin' great.
Before you started, only thing I wrote about the promo was Hogan's promo was so good.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all I need.
It's
That's all I
so
needed.
good. And,
So
and
good.
We're going to talk about it as we listen to it.
Back
So
serves out.
I'll play it right now.
This is Hulk Hogan being charismatic. This is why he is what
Over the
he is.
last couple of months, it has been very difficult for me to introduce this man without using World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan here at WrestleMania 4 this afternoon.
This is so
You've
good.
got the opportunity to change that. Oh, yeah, it's been hard to live with, man. Fee, fi, fo, fum, Andre. One long year, and your time has come, man. No marks, no scars, no blemishes on the Hulkster, brother. But inside,
able to
man,
keep up if you
I've
took
been
shots
scarred
every
for
time you
one
said
long
man.
year.
I know.
Everywhere I go, man, all the little Hulksters ask me, is there any truth to the fact that there was a controversial count? Hulkster, did you really get him over your head? Did you really beat the Giants? Well, today, man,
Didn't
in
you
WrestleMania
watch it?
4,
Didn't you see it?
We're going to wipe all that controversy out. Andre the Giant in the second round when you're fresh as a daisy with the
But he
whole
gets
world
over it's the
watching.
second round and
I'm
they're
gonna
both
prove,
fresh.
brother, that I can beat you anywhere, anytime. And all my Hulkamaniacs, they're gonna feel it too.
Speaking of the Hulkamaniacs, Hulk Hogan, we have seen him here in Atlantic City, and I know millions
This
others
is
are
where the
watching
promo gets
very intently
incredible.
all around
Yeah,
the world.
but if you look from the
Part
eyes,
two.
man, have you seen the fear
This is the
in all
best.
those little Hulksters? They realize that when I get Andre the Giant cinched up in the launch position,
All right, I have to pause it right there. When he says cinched up in the launch position, it's just his excuse to flex his muscle and put it over his head and then zoom in on it. Because literally, I mean, he says cinched up in the launch position and he
That
puts
is
in the
the
body
launch
slam thing. He just flexes his muscles so big and he's like, "Arr!" And it was like totally just an excuse. I just had to point that out. But this is where the promo is getting even better. Donald Trump's about to enter.
when I slam him through the Trump Plaza, brother, from New York down to Tampa, Florida, the fault line is gonna break off.
Okay.
And as Andre the Giant
BG
falls
Hold
into
on,
the
hold
ocean, as my next two opponents fall to the ocean floor and I pin them.
He has to make sure that he says, as Andre the Giant falls to the ocean floor, and my next two opponents fall to the ocean floor, and I pin him. Real quick, and I pin him. Hold on, I'm sorry. This promo is too fucking good.
Hogan pins his opponents on the ocean floor only.
Yes. Hold on, I rewind.
Down to Tampa, Florida, the fault line is gonna break off. And as Andre the Giant falls into the ocean,
He's like
as my
crying.
next two opponents fall to the ocean floor and I pin them.
He is so dramatic. He's like crying.
He's compassionate for his victims.
So will Donald Trump and all the Hulkamaniacs.
Uh-oh, everyone's
But as
falling.
Donald Trump hangs on to the top of the Trump Plaza with his family under his other arm, as they sink to
This
the
might be
bottom of
hero.
the sea, thank God Donald Trump's a Hulkamaniac.
Yo, he almost, I have to
go
pause
with
it.
materialistic
He almost has a conniption when he goes, thank God Donald Trump's a Hulkamaniac. He does this thing where he pulls his arm in close and points like real tight. I just think you have to see it. He's like, thank God Donald Trump's a Hulkamaniac. And as a kid, I was like, I liked Donald Trump because he was a Hulkamaniac. But either way, let's keep moving.
He'll know enough to let go of his materialistic possessions, hang on to the wife and kids.
Dog battle!
His life,
If there's
all
one
the way
person
to
that's
safety.
not gonna, give up. If there's one person that's not gonna give up their materialistic possessions,
It's Donald Trump. I know, right? And it sounds like Hogan's trying to sell him as not a billionaire scumbag. And I like Donald Trump.
He's coming as I'll dog paddle. I mean, I'll backstroke my way.
Yeah, that's coming up. Hold on, I rewound a little bit. This is promo's too good.
Enough to let go of his materialistic possessions, hang on to the wife and kids.
The wife of the moment
Yeah.
and kids.
Dog battle with his life all the way to safety. But Donald, if something happens, you run out of gas, and all those little Hulkamaniacs run out of gas, just hang on to the largest back in the world, and I'll dog battle us.
Backstroke.
All of us to safety.
All right, thank you, Hulk Hogan. Let's
While
get
he's
back to action.
backstroking, that means
He backstrokes out of the shot. And he also completely poses and blocks Mean Gene's face with his bicep. Like his
Before he
bicep's as
backstrokes.
big as, and then backstrokes out of the shot.
The-
That
What a
Hulk Hogan
dickhead.
promo, if you haven't seen
What
it,
a
go on
dick.
YouTube, find it. It is so good.
That means if they're holding onto his hand while he's backstroking, they're gonna be going around in circles.
Well, Donald Trump's holding on, Donald Trump's family, all the Hulkamaniacs.
It's like swinging Hercules' chain, sort of.
That interview, oh God. That one makes, I love that one. But
Good.
then immediately they bring you down, in my opinion, because then it's Rick Rude versus Jake the Snake. Two wrestlers who I love,
Yeah.
who had a boring ass match, in my opinion.
What was on Rick Rude's tights? Like, was it supposed to be Jake the Snake or a woman?
No, it was supposed to be a woman, but later on in that feud,
So Jake the Snake with no mustache.
later on in that feud, they ended up, he ended up painting Jake the Snake's wife on his trunks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That makes that makes a good story.
And I actually put that the wrist lock was a little too long. So there's just a wrist lock that Jake had on for like 10 minutes.
Well, I guess they don't make it clear. First of all, this is a time limit draw.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
it
they
turns
do.
out,
They
yes.
do make it clear.
They make. I felt that they made it clear that it was a draw, but there was something happening at the end where
It looked like-
It looked
Rick
like he'd be a
Rude-
winner.
That was the point.
Rick Rude has his legs on the ropes.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they?
I guess just to add more controversy.
Yeah,
Are they disqualifying him?
Did he pin him?
They just say draw. They don't say time limit draw. So I wasn't clear on that. But the actual in-ring action, I guess both of them went into the match saying, "Well, man, we know we're going to be going for 15 minutes. We better just do a lot of rest spots. All right, man, good deal."
Yeah,
and
it's like they act like 15 minutes is that long. Like, I mean, I know people who, let's be
but they're
real.
8-minute men. You know, they just fucking. That's it.
Yeah,
Both of them were able to go for 15
if you look
minutes.
at if you look at the, I wonder what it has on here as because I actually timed the match. That's funny. On this page, it has all the times of the match. So Corfus right, 5:02, 9:11, 4:09, 2:55.
They can go for a solid 8, but they can't go for a solid
6:07, 5:35, 5:23.
What's this match? What's this match?
This match is the 15-minute draw.
Okay.
But here's the thing: I actually timed the match, and it's clear that they had that spot planned because the match actually ended at 15 minutes and 14 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So they had that planned. So I actually took a stopwatch to it and timed it. So
you said you know people. What were you getting at?
No. I was just saying, I worked with WLW, so I know people who have worked in the ring longer than 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't need to take that many rest spots.
So ultimately, the match winds up being extremely boring. They go back to, it's a headlock, right? That Rick Rude keeps putting on Jake.
Yeah, and Jake keeps putting on the wrist lock.
And it's so clear that nobody wants
Jake does a good wrist lock.
this headlock to keep going. And
no one in the crowd.
Is this the boring chant?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's one, if they took a poll of the viewers at home and the people in the crowd and said, what one move don't you want to happen again in this match?
Over and over
again.
again.
You would have had 100% turnout for headlock. And continuously they go back to the headlock. So much so that we're talking 1988 here, long before obnoxious fans are chanting boring and asshole and things like that. You have boring chants heard over and over and over and over in the crowd. Very audible, very clear.
Okay, so after this match, it becomes a 15-minute, almost bore fest, and the Jersey crowd that's known for its, impatience, actually does get a boring chant going. But then the next match, then we go backstage, and Mean Gene is with Vanna White. And they have the first thing of them with the tournament board. And to me, I thought that was a phenomenal idea. To show the people at home, who didn't have the program in front of them with the tournament brackets.
Yeah.
You could see who's advancing and whatever. I think that was great. So.
I agree.
Plus, bring Vanna in a little earlier. Doesn't hurt. So, I thought that was awesome.
No, she got hotter as it went on. That's why I thought,
And she also didn't know who the hell Bob Uecker was. They also played that line.
Yeah.
Because they're like, Bob Uecker, and she's like, who? No idea.
I don't think I know Bob Uecker.
Yeah, even though, you haven't seen fucking Major League. Get out of here, Vanna White in the 80s. Everyone saw Major League in the 80s. But then, so then the next match, they decided that after Rick Rude, Jake the Snake, which turned out to be a complete bore fest, they decided to literally astonish you. I mean, we're talking Sabu style, our Sabu RVD quality match. Hercules versus the Ultimate Warrior.
Now
That is a high-flying, technical, glorious affair that this turned out to be.
We all know that,
Now, I can't believe that's true. I skipped the entire match. You gotta be out of your mind.
The match was the worst, one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Everybody, people of this generation, wrestlers of this generation, commonly refer to this match as an inspiration.
No one does.
As, as something that wrestling, pure wrestling.
Pure, yeah. Like real wrestlers who know what they're doing.
Ric Flair, I think, was quoted as saying that if he could wrestle 1/5 to the to the level
of this
Ultimate
match,
Warrior could, and Hercules
is like the match,
that WCW would still be existing.
Well, they actually said on the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat DVD, he's quoted as saying that his match versus Macho Man at WrestleMania 3 is not the best WrestleMania match ever. That it's Hercules Hernandez versus the Ultimate Warrior in a grudge match over a silver chain.
Was it over a silver chain?
Well, they broke the chain on Superstars. So who gives a fuck?
They didn't even. Did they even mention that though? And like at the event, I don't remember them having any sort of promo.
If it is, it's brief.
Well, Edge and her Triple H said they wouldn't even be in the industry if it weren't for this match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They wowed a lot of people, and the Jersey crowd was,
Just in awe.
gave a standing ovation.
Well, if we eat it up, it's all good.
What I write is Warrior performs terribly in this match. He does the one move
That's
that
so funny.
I think stood out was when he tries to do the stun gun, which was stunning Steve's finisher, where you lift him up and drop their neck on the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens with that move where it is the biggest botch move of the match.
Oh, really? I thought the whole match from the beginning to the end was a botch.
I wish we could see that move. It was bad.
I was gonna say I wrote exactly what this match means to me. Nothing. So we
Well,
can move on.
So now we're actually into round 2 of the tournament. And the first match of round 2 is Hulk Hogan versus Andre after Hogan's incredible promo.
I just want to say that may be one of the. I think that's the worst Warrior match that I can remember watching. I actually challenge our listeners. Let us know what your worst Warrior match is.
And you
I'm
can't
saying
just
this
say
one.
all of them anymore.
Yeah, it has to be a specific
match. He's saying this one.
I gotta watch a lot.
I bet I can find more.
Because this is earlier in Warrior's
No.
career.
On Warrior's DVD, there's some from earlier in his career, like when he first entered WWE, that are even worse. There's definitely worse.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's so bad. But either way, we're on to round 2, Hogan Andre.
Yes.
So I guess I disagreed with you. I said Andre, not you, Adam, Tim. That I thought Andre was moving pretty good for this match, and because it was short in time, instead of being the main event like at WrestleMania 3, they only had one rest spot, and it was like the choke down.
I think he just looked terrible. He moved terrible. You knew he was going to die within 4 years.
That's Andre, though. There's like any Andre from
I
this
thought
period.
DiBiase and Virgil added to the excitement of the match. I thought the crowd was eating the fucking match up.
I don't like how they promote this match.
That's because it's Hogan Andre. That's why they're getting excited for it.
Well, I mean, I thought it was the best Hogan Andre match I saw because it was short timed. It wasn't trying to hold a 20-minute main event, and they were able to all like kind of move in the 8 to I don't know how long it was. Let's see how long it was.
I'd say 8 minutes.
I want to say 8 minutes, but it might have been even
look,
faster.
4 minutes and 15 seconds match. 15
No, it was
minutes.
5 minutes,
taunting.
23 seconds.
Okay.
Is that including the taunting or without the taunting of Hogan for 20 minutes?
Oh, you mean of the posing?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't include the posing.
I don't know how I feel about the Coliseum video release having Hogan and Andre on the box instead of DiBiase.
Look at the picture over there.
And
Yeah, right there.
instead of DiBiase and Macho Man, I feel like it's a little bit false advertising, and it kind of steals the
But you also
thunder
have to remember
away
that-
from Steve DiBiase and Macho.
I agree, but it also you have to remember that both Hogan and Andre were there for that main event.
What do you mean?
They were both in the main event, basically.
No, that's true, and I'll get to how I feel about that later on.
All
But
right. The next thing that happens before the next match is a Macho Man promo.
wait, real quick before we move on from this, I feel like Hogan is dropping elbows on Andre earlier in the match, and after Hogan drops the second elbow, Andre grabs him and brings him down and starts
Chokes him.
choking him.
Yeah.
Is this after when Andre fell after the 2 punches and Hogan runs to the ropes and he's just like, oh, I'm going to go down now?
I think so. I feel like Andre was actually sort of getting pissed, like Hogan was hitting him too hard.
And then you give him the choke. Yeah.
Yeah.
This exact
Because
part.
it didn't make any sense. Hogan's on the offense, and all of a sudden, instead of Andre moving or Andre doing a low blow or punching him, he just grabs him and starts choking him. It seemed really out of place, and seemed like Andre had one of his little temper tantrums where he was just not cooperating.
Yeah. That could be possible.
He just wanted Hogan to stop.
Now because like I said, the Macho Man promo comes next.
Well, don't skip it. I just one more thing. I was
Okay,
gonna say,
go.
Just one clip. If you're gonna watch this match, at the end when Hogan's taunting, Hogan his suplex to Virgil reminded me of a Kevin Nash powerbomb, where he's gonna do it, but then just lets the guy go and doesn't finish it.
That's
at
a
all.
good. That's
Hogan,
a good
it seemed
observation.
like Hogan didn't want to take the bump on the
Yeah,
ground.
that's 100%
Yeah.
it. And he was
and
like,
it
fuck
was-
you, Virgil.
And I know plenty of people who have done it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that bad.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So
especially if you do a short suplex. But yeah, that was sort of shitty of Hogan to do that. You see him call it to Virgil like, I'm going to suplex you. And Virgil's like, all right, whatever. And then Hogan just tosses him.
Yeah, I
Fuck
agree.
you, Virgil.
I sit in the middle of Tim and Mike on this match. Because when Mike puts it into perspective of it being a better match than WrestleMania 3, I think I agree with that.
Because it was short. It was 5 minutes and 23 seconds.
But I also wrote here, now I'm remembering my initial impressions, that I write, Andre's lack of mobility never ceases to amaze me. He proves that literally anyone can be a professional wrestler.
Whoa,
okay, good.
that's insulting.
Thank
no,
you. That's
fuck that.
Dude, he is terrible.
No, he's not.
If you're big enough,
retarded
if you're
bear moving around.
Yeah, he's bad. He's really, really bad.
No. For he was huge. You
Oh,
try to
come
move
on.
around.
Big Show can fucking.
Big
Yeah,
Show
Big Show's
sucks.
high flying
Fuck
compared to
Big
Andre's
Show.
performance in this event.
I'm here to be real. Let all my fans
No,
out
get
there,
out of here.
I'm here to be real.
No.
And Mike over here is telling us that Andre's a better athlete.
I didn't.
The best athlete in the world in
I
any
never
sport.
said that. I'm saying
Fuck
about
that.
what Gorilla said about Hogan. All right, moving on. Once again, the next thing up was Macho Man's promo, and I am going to play this promo because this show not only is a tribute to WrestleMania 4, which is my favorite WrestleMania, but it's also a tribute to one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and that's Macho Man Randy Savage, and this is like his moment. And I want to play his promo because not only is it good and it's Macho Man at his fucking best, but it's like this. I love Macho Man, and I just think he deserves. it. So that's that.
All right, surprises. I cannot believe that one of those two men did not advance, but
That's obviously Hogan and Andre. This is right after Hogan Andre's match.
that's the way it comes down, Macho Man. You and Elizabeth and myself have been watching your thoughts.
Hulk Hogan is a cheated man, not a defeated man. In fact, Hulk Hogan has never been defeated. Not by me, not by you, not by Andre the Giant, not by Ted DiBiase, you understand?
Now, the best thing about this is, a year later, when the Mega Powers exploded, as a kid, I was like watching this. I remember watching this and being like, he just said he could never be defeated. Not by me, not by you, not by Andre the Giant. And he said, and that's what made me a little comfortable about that. But by the way,
Right there, yeah.
All right, now there is more to come. You have
should just make that a sound
obviously,
bite.
Macho Man
Right
Randy
there,
Savage.
yeah.
Speculate, if you will, for us on your chances. Greg the Hammer Valentine up in round 2.
Well,
Tim's favorite, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I've had the
Handsome.
blessings of the mania all
One word,
along,
handsome.
and I'm figuring and
Handsome
thinking
Greg.
that nothing's gonna stop the Macho Man Randy Savage now. The madness with that momentum, and multiply it with the momentum of Hulkamania.
Yeah.
Nothing is gonna stop one half of the Mega Powers from going all the way to the end. All the way to the championship.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it all. Yeah, I'm gonna take it all. Elizabeth, am I gonna take it all or what?
What about it, Elizabeth?
I believe he is.
I'll tell you what, you
I
keep
believe
smiling. That's
he
got to be a great inspiration to the Macho
Great
Man
insight,
Randy
Elizabeth.
Savage as he advances in the championship elimination tournament here at
Still
WrestleMania
screaming.
4. Come on, Jesse, let's get back to you.
Doing it, yeah.
One of the best promo deliverers in wrestling, I think, without question, is Elizabeth. Her insight into the, into just giving, her opinion on other wrestlers and supporting the Macho Man. She was intimidating, but at the same time classy.
You want to know the funny part? Here's the best part about it. When she was with Luger, wasn't he like U.S. champion or some sort of champion?
WCW we're talking to?
Yeah.
No one in WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say U.S. champion. Okay, so
Hart, he beat Bret
Elizabeth,
Hart.
literally,
think
now
so.
I love Miss Elizabeth. She was one of my first crushes with Kelly Kapowski. But serious, she's not every promo she ever gives aside from WrestleMania 5 is that. And she basically looks uncomfortable all the time, and does the same, like she has the same basic worried look on the side of the ring
she's
every
very good
match
face
ever.
actress.
And then when she gets in the ring and Macho Man wins, she's always crying. And so she has the same two deliveries and then like the extremely awkward promos. Yet she's managed 2 world champions and a U.S. champion.
Well, Luger was the world champion at one point in '97, But
Well, she was managing it.
yeah.
Okay, so 3 world champions and a U.S. champion.
But
I
she was
do like
also
her claim the flame.
And she's also managed the Mega Powers, which is probably one of the most powerful tag teams ever.
One of my favorite Miss Elizabeth moments is when she stabs Hogan in the eye with her heel of her shoe, and he bleeds in the eye and loses the match.
So she does have that vindictive side. No, but I
bet if they would have asked her about it, she'd have been like, I don't know what I did.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
But I think part of, I mean, all of her appeal was that she wasn't a wrestling girl.
Yeah, she wasn't
was
a
a
whore.
normal
No,
girl
yeah.
next door.
So, just beautiful.
And that's why there was nothing to not like about her, except everything
Wholesome,
we're telling
wholesome. She
you
was wholesome.
that you shouldn't like about her right now.
If you were cold, she'd knit you a quilt real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
She was a very
wholesome,
lady.
exactly.
And be like,
So we get on to our next match, and it's Don Morocco, Adam's favorite,
Don the
versus
Rock.
Ted DiBiase, my favorite. Now, I like Ted DiBiase. I think he's an accomplished wrestler. Adam here loves Don Morocco, thinks he's probably the best in wrestling history. So let's jury debate this.
I just think Don Morocco, I appreciate history, and I appreciate the fact that he was the first Rock. And I feel like once WWF has a new version of something, such as like the RKO is the new Diamond Cutter, so they'll pretend that Diamond Cutter never existed. When they have a new Rock, they'll pretend that there was never an original Rock.
Yeah.
So I want to give Don Morocco all the credit that he deserves for being the original Rock.
And he was a good Intercontinental Champion.
I guess, you know, whatever. But I'm fine with that.
Fuck his accomplishments.
good, I agree with that, because I don't give 2 shits about Don Morocco.
I don't hate the guy. I just don't think he performs well as a wrestler.
Hey, Don
WrestleMania
Morocco signing autographs.
I actually thought
Gordon.
this was a great match. I thought it was pretty sharp, and I thought they had pretty good chemistry, and I loved the ending. When he catches him spinning around out of nowhere, DiBiase catches him and then clotheslines him on the top ropes.
Did he win any match with the $1 Million Dream that night?
No,
not one.
All different ways.
Not one person was willing to go to sleep at WrestleMania.
I'm not a huge fan of submission finishers. I mean, I think in certain matches they have a dramatic effect, but
WrestleMania 13.
I definitely, I definitely prefer more high impact finishers.
I'm just gonna.
But the
break
clothesline
away
on
real
the
quick.
top rope, that ending was awesome.
Yes,
it was
I
so
agree.
quick, and he turned around, caught him, bam, caught him on the top rope.
Say you can go to bad endings. I'm gonna say Starrcade when Sting comes back and beats him with a Scorpion Deathlock. That just no. Anyway, WrestleMania 4.
Anybody else have anything on Don Morocco, Ted DiBiase? Ted DiBiase wins the match.
Thank God. It was great. all
After
night.
that, we had a Demolition promo with Bob Uecker, and of course Uecker nails it. Demolition's outfits were the gayest thing.
Oh yeah.
And as a kid,
bondage.
I didn't freaking notice it. And
I was
I
watching
actually
that.
thought did I write it? I might have wrote it during their match. I might have. Hold on, I have to see if I wrote it during the match because now would be a great time to bring it up.
Their
Yes,
dominatrix outfits.
Demolition looked like they should have hung at the bar from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
Then the next thing is you come out to the ring and One Man Gang. By the way, old school wrestling fans, when we transport you back to the 80s and 90s, if you know OMG as One Man Gang and not Oh My God, then you are at the Midnight Jury.
OMG.
OMG gets a bye to the third round.
Then he comes out and celebrates.
Yeah.
that.
And they do that with DiBiase later.
Yeah.
Like he comes out, they raise his hand like he won, and him and Slick jumps in his arms and they like hug each other.
If you like the One Man Gang / Akeem, as I do, WrestleMania 4 is the event
honestly,
for you.
at WrestleMania, I watched WrestleMania 5 recently too, and I know we'll get to that one day. But at WrestleMania 5, the match between the Rockers and the Twin Towers, which is
I love that
Bossman and Akeem, it's a good match.
Really?
Yeah, I love
It's
that match.
exciting. The Rockers, when they're in control, it's because they're
wearing the
running
green that
around
night.
and they're like hitting them, and like it's a great match. I was very impressed by that match.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Check it out
Were
sometime.
Akeem and Bossman ever the tag champs?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh,
they were
we'd
just
have
a,
to- oh.
they were
No.
just, they were just a mega power. To throw
Okay.
mega power words
So
out here.
OMG, One Man Gang gets a bye to the third round.
It's a troublesome group to go through to get.
And
to the
he
finals,
will meet the
True
winner
that.
of the next match. That's how Finkel does it. Which is Macho Man in pink with Elizabeth and Red versus Valentine, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Ugh.
Okay.
I know. My first thing is this is where that Jesse Ventura and people start selling how the odds are against Macho Man already. Like in this match, they're already selling it because Valentine beats him up during this match. Like Valentine literally is like in control most of the match. It looks like Savage is not going to get out of this match, and this is the second round.
Yeah.
So they've already, and I like that, they've already started to put it against Macho Man. So, do you have anything on this?
I don't really have anything on this match.
The ending was good too, where he just, because this was before it happened all the time, but Greg Hammer was going for his figure 4 and he catches him in a small package out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Boom, match over.
Yeah.
So I really liked that, and they really started to like immediately. I'm surprised I didn't pick up with it as a kid and be like,
it's like a desperation pin.
oh, they're yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
Then it's another. Then they go backstage. You got Mean Gene and Vanna again, and they update you on what's going on, and it's so funny.
Vanna has so little to add to,
Yeah.
the conversation.
But she has a lot to add.
Macho's gonna be TV.
No, because she's like,
I really like him.
No,
I really like the female male.
What did
Them
I
being
want-
together.
No, I know a line by heart. He goes, and what do you think about Ted DiBiase? And she's like, I don't like the idea of anybody buying it or using money to buy anything. You have to earn everything. Meanwhile, she's making millions of dollars for being a stupid piece of shit, walking up to a letter and going, bing! She turns it around. And she's way richer than I am.
Eventually, all she had to do was touch it.
Touch the
Also.
button, yeah. So then the next match is Honky Tonk.
I don't like the idea of anybody using money to buy anything.
Yes, that's it. That's
Great quote.
Yeah.
She does not support the free market.
I think Macho's gonna win.
She doesn't support the economy.
She was a commie after all.
She's Vanna White is a communist.
Vladimir White.
So the next match is the Intercontinental title match.
Vladimir White.
Honky Tonk Man, who comes out awesome with his music. I love Honky Tonk Man, by the way.
That's what I wrote here.
Yeah,
I love the Honky Tonk
Yeah, me
Man.
too. I
wrote
think
this.
me and you finally agree on something.
Yeah.
Else. But I love Honky. I love how he looks in his jumpsuit with the Intercontinental Championship. Like, and he was such a Weasley champion.
Yeah,
he always
really
counted
was.
out, disqualified, like anything to get out of.
Which
like,
happens in this match.
Yeah.
It's not a
He
fair
was so.
win.
It was such a natural, thing to imagine him. He was such a good IC champ. He held the belt for so long.
He's got Jimmy Hart. He had Jimmy Hart, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
his record as
And
IC.
Sensational Sherry is Peggy Sue.
His
Really?
record.
Yep, that's
did
Peggy
not
Sue
know
is
that.
Sensational Sherry.
Man, I was
When
like,
she's
oh, man.
screaming at ringside, you
I
can
would
see
say this.
it.
Wait,
man,
do you know
Sherry's
about?
so gross.
Wait, but do you know
It's
about when
Peggy
Honky
Sue,
Tonk
all
comes
right.
out? Do you know when Honky Tonk comes out at WrestleMania 6 in the pink limo? That the
Okay.
guy driving is Diamond Dallas Page.
Is it?
So,
Oh, yeah.
just
I've
randomly.
seen that in his
It's just
documentary.
so random.
DDP owned a pink limo, and they needed a pink
Yeah, and
limo.
he just ended
That's-
up working with the company
Yeah,
like 20 years
That's
later.
awesome. That's awesome.
But anyway,
It
yeah,
sucks
so
that he
this
came-
match, I actually wrote
Yeah,
love
he sucked in
Honky,
WWE.
love character, love music. And Jesse the Body's like, you hear me on piano?
Peggy Sue.
That's Jesse Lee Ventura. And then I wrote right here, and we talked about this earlier, why didn't Brutus have music yet?
Yeah,
It's been a year since he's been the barber.
and also $1 Million Man. But Honky Tonk Man, he played the character so
Perfect.
well, and he was so confident, and so like his
You know
cockiness.
he was a face when he came in?
Yeah, it didn't.
So weird.
Is he
Why-
Laura's cousin? Is that what?
Yeah. I know he's not the best Intercontinental Champion of all time, but he deserves to be in that running, not as a guy who defended the belt, but as the guy who held on to that belt as long as he could without being a good, like a big tough guy. He didn't play a big tough wrestler.
That record has not been broken yet. Just by the way,
Really?
he still holds it.
It's
yeah.
never gonna.
I
The
hope.
way
I hope
things go
not.
now, unless someone just doesn't defend it all the time.
Yeah,
But I honestly put simple. The match was simple, entertaining, two great characters, and there was nothing fancy. It was just the characters that
Who's
Brutus.
Honky Tonk? Oh, Honky Tonk and Brutus.
Yeah. And then Honky Tonk and Jimmy were great being Weasley heels, cheating to keep the titles, and they stole the title right out from Brutus.
and once Brutus cuts Jimmy's hair off, I love Honky's backstage reaction.
Oh, yeah.
They're picking on Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like I forget what he says, but he's
And Jimmy's like, I look like little Lulu.
yeah.
Look at the back of my hair. He's like,
Cover
cover
it
it
up,
up, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Don't let them see it. Yeah.
Like such. How could you not utilize him for the rest of the existence.
And they did that
of his
from the
life.
ring all the way back.
Yeah.
And that's another interview segment where they had a few of those interview segments where it was right after a match, and they don't really do that anymore, where the paint's all messed up, their hair's all messed up, they're all
that's
done.
great.
And it's all bootleg looking, and it's in front of a random blue screen you take a yearbook picture in front of. And they just, it's like, let them talk right after the match.
Adam, can I ask, can you do that Jimmy Hart one more time?
That I was well.
That whole thing, honky tonk.
Well, that shows how bad impressions I am. That was
That
not
was
Jimmy
so
Hart.
good.
That was honky
That's
tonk.
what I meant.
Wait, how does it go?
He's like,
No, I can't.
Look like a little Lulu. And you're like, cover it up, Jimmy.
Cover it up, Jimmy. I mean,
No, it's okay.
That's all right.
But,
good
it's
enough
that
for me.
level of intensity, though.
But then after that, then they cut to another backstage promo where now Bob Uecker is getting really worried. Do you remember these promos? Where he's actually like, okay, it's starting to get nervous time down here. I still don't know what happened to Vanna White.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love how he has his own promo or his own storyline going.
No, that is really cool. They were very thorough.
Oh, and this is the one where Andre comes in all drunk in French. I actually wrote that. Andre comes in all drunk in French and guarantees to help DiBiase get the belt, which basically like foreshadows the main event.
Okay.
And I love when he goes, "Don't worry about Vanna White," and he's like, because he's talking about Vanna White while Andre's trying to talk about like WrestleMania. Yeah, and then he chokes Uecker.
Dude, he does that so
Yeah.
fast. Like it wasn't meant to happen. He was just really pissed off. He's just been pissed off all show.
His sausage fingers have never been on display better than around Bob
Uecker's
throat.
neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then another filler match. Islanders and Bobby Heenan versus Bulldogs and Coco Beware,
Another
which
filler
actually
match I did not
no,
watch,
but it does
so.
actually turn. It is funny because you find out that the package we talked about earlier turned out to be an attack dog suit.
Yeah.
And he
Which
wears
looks
to the
tremendous.
ring.
That looks tremendous.
Yeah.
What he did.
Oh, but this is the match where Jesse Ventura makes the racial slur.
You got that?
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
So he comes out in the attack dog suit, and during the match, Jesse Ventura decides that this would be an appropriate time to say, where is it? There it is. This.
He looks front kick by the big guy. Heenan looks like a Chinaman, don't he? He sure does. Anything but a wrestler.
Anything but a wrestler. But, like, I don't know if Grillo was trying to cover that up, but, like, Chinaman is that's not appropriate, right? That's not PC.
Well, this is 1988.
Well, I
It's a
say
different
Yellow Man.
world.
And Roddy Piper dresses up in blackface.
I was gonna say, if we say black man, we're not gonna say yellow man. China man works at least a little better.
Yeah, it's better.
He
Yeah.
looks front kick by the big guy.
One more time,
Heenan
Jesse.
looks like a Chinaman, don't he? He sure does.
Like, you just say it live on the broadcast of WrestleMania. Just, he don't look like a Chinaman, don't he? But, I thought it was a decent, entertaining match. I thought it was kind of, once again, a kicking Coco Beware's face that Bobby Heenan pinned him.
Yeah.
For victory.
The
Which, once again, doesn't settle that feud that they wanted to settle. Where Heenan stole Matilda, and this was the payback.
Well, they chased Heenan out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and
away
then they
with
show him,
Matilda.
like, putting Matilda on top of Heenan.
Yeah,
That's what they're trying to go for.
They like
That's it.
cut. The dog gets over to Heenan.
Like, the dog actually was I thought it was trained really well. When he first got in the ring, he went right after Heenan. And they chased him around the ring. But then as they were leaving after the match, he did chase Heenan and got, I guess, part of his leg or his pants or something. But then, I guess, I don't know what happened, but they started throwing Matilda on top of him.
Well, yeah, they cut away as Matilda gets to Heenan. This is like during the heart of when Bulldog is trying to get Matilda onto Heenan, and then they cut back once Matilda is on Heenan to make it like that she's actually attacking him. I thought it was some really awkward camera work there.
And the dog clearly is just a nice treat.
Yeah.
And, like, they're not going to hurt anybody. But the Heenan promo when he gets to the backstage, like, high school yearbook photo area, do you remember that?
Yes.
Like, the dog ripped the back out of it. He tore the side off of it. It couldn't be contained by one bulldog, two bulldogs. You know, he was he was all sweating and all scared of you, like we lost a limb.
It worked because Bobby Heenan sold it so well.
Yes, I agree. But then this has made me laugh just a second ago. The next thing that happens is, and I don't know if this was on your copy, Jesse Ventura poses for
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
no
Yeah.
reason.
He's been there for like 2 hours already. And, like, and we have special guest Jesse Ventura.
Why'd
with us.
they? Yeah. Why'd
He
they?
gets up there and just poses.
Yeah, for no
Why'd they
reason.
choose this time?
And why'd they even
Yeah,
add that to the
beginning.
video? Who gives a shit?
And
Like,
I thought
in
they
the
were.
middle of it.
I thought
Yeah.
they were gonna introduce him and Gorilla, but
Beginning.
they just introduced him.
yeah, and then he gets up and like poses and like he's like pointing at the crowd. He's like, I still got it. I still got it.
He's like posing with his jacket like he's gonna open it.
Yeah,
He's gonna
so
open it. He like
stupid.
does it 3 times. Then he shows the ribs.
Yeah, that was so
80s
dumb.
wrestling fans loved men flexing.
That man, I loved it this morning.
I loved men
I
flexing
love
this
men
morning.
flexing.
On to round 3.
Who's left?
Now we got DiBiase officially comes out to the ring and they raise his hand
Okay.
because
The
Ted
bye.
DiBiase gets a bye because of Hogan and Andre,
Oh.
and he will meet the winner of the next match. And that's Macho Man in black and Elizabeth in black, which is my favorite one of
Yo,
the
they
entire
look
WrestleMania.
great all night, and that was definitely good.
Versus OMG, One Man Gang.
I gotta say, I don't like the bandana though. It just looks weird on his head. The bandana hat that Macho wears.
I don't know, man. I loved the black, and I
Oh,
just thought
yeah,
they
it
looked
looked great.
awesome. And that's like old school, good old Macho Man. But yeah, I actually put in here. Jesse really sells. He's like, after 2 rounds, I cannot see Macho getting by the gang. And like I think we spoke about this. Like, why did a gang get disqualified? Because there's no way that anyone would have believed that after getting smashed by Greg Valentine and then wrestling Butch Reed, that he'd be beating someone who
The fresh
outweighed him by
one-man gang.
fresh one-man gang who sat out with a bye. They say that.
Is this
Sat
where he's
out
trying to
with
hit
a
him with
bye.
the cane? Is this that match?
Yes.
Okay.
And I wrote-
Where he misses him by a mile 4
Oh
times
yeah,
in a
4
row
times, and the ref is like, "Fuck
and
this."
swings it so
Whatever.
slowly.
Macho Man has been beat up by Butch Reed, Valentine,
believe
and the
it.
gang. It's not believable he would beat someone with a bye who outweighs him by 200 pounds. That's what I wrote. These weren't the days when Rey Mysterio could beat the Big Show. I wrote that right down. You know, like you had to, like, if you were a small guy back in the 80s, you had to beat the big guys any way possible.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it gets weird. Vanna and Mean Gene are backstage again at the championship elimination board, where you find out that the main event is Macho Man versus Ted DiBiase. And this is where Vanna leaves for the ring and says, "Oh, see you later, Mean Gene." And Euchre shows up too late to find her. And he's like, "Come on, I sent her all kind of letters." So yeah, some guy named Vance White. What was that? Like, what in the world? Why? What was he that stupid? Do you remember this?
What is he suggesting? What?
That he was like, and then Mean Gene's like, no, this is Vanna White from Wheel of Fortune, Bob Euchre. Oh, girl.
So he was in love with Vance White all night.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense. And then when they're in the ring
He was
later in the
talking
main
to
event,
Vance White around the corner.
no, but then later in the night when they're in the ring, he gets so excited to announce her and bring her down and then get the kiss. That Howard Finkel, I think, clearly whispers to her, "Oh, you're supposed to kiss Bob Euchre now." Because,
Really?
Yeah, because I think the storyline. Yeah, they were trying to play the storyline, but the Vance White thing made no sense.
So Bob Euchre says,
Kids is on.
Yeah,
what does he say?
he goes, "I've been writing her all kinds of letters. Oh yeah, some guy named Vance White." It makes no sense. It's
And Vance White, I guess in this scenario, is a girl. Some way.
I don't know.
I've been
one-
Vance
no one
White.
else.
I've been writing her all kinds of
Yeah,
letters.
her all kinds of letters.
Wait,
Some
wait,
guy,
wait.
And then he says some guy named Vance White. It makes no sense. It's the only part of the storyline I don't
All
get.
right, listen, this
because
lady.
from that point on, when they go to the ring, it still continues where he finds her.
Listen. I met this guy. This girl named Vance White. Wow. I didn't. I think it went right over my head
Rewatch it.
when I watched it.
Okay, but then the next match I could talk about good, but that's how the storyline goes. So the next match is for the tag titles. It's Demolition versus Strike Force.
I have a couple things about this match.
Was one of them the fact that I'm so sick of hearing people say about Legion of Doom Road Warriors or Demolition or whatever that they can't tell them apart?
Oh, yeah.
How many tag teams are they like, I can't even tell them apart? Well, do you have fucking eyes? Because
Especially those two.
Yeah, and I
one
wrote-
of them has long hair.
no, I know. I wrote, check this out.
Wait, so Axe and Smash.
I wrote
Yeah.
like
the title.
no, like it says straight. Oh, okay. So it says Jesse says I can't tell them apart.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
Jesus.
Gorilla says this is his answer.
Oh, he's taller.
Axe is taller. Now listen, I go,
Smash is gonna
how
start
about
with
Axe is fatter, whiter, has
Long
less
hair.
studs on his outfit, has different face paint, and Smash has a tattoo on his arm. Like, it's like, how about any of that? Not that he's taller by an inch.
Isn't Smash have long hair?
Yeah,
it's
Smash
longer,
has longer hair.
And Axe is
balding.
like balding.
Yeah. and have you ever noticed, like, Axe always has so much more glitter in his hair?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I just am so sick of hearing that. Even as a kid, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they're clearly different. Hog and Animal, one has a spider on his freaking forehead. Like, oh.
Yeah, so for this match, I wrote...
You have anything about the music of Strike Force?
Well, the music of Strike Force, that song, if I'm not mistaken,
Girls in Cars.
was on Pile Driver?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you, back in the day when you would look, when you tried to download Andre's theme, and I know Andre didn't have a theme, but you would be like, well, maybe he had a theme at one point, maybe they had a theme for a couple shows. You know, you type in Andre's WWF theme, and then Girls in Cars would come up.
Yeah.
But I thought it was
It's so bad. It's so gay. It's the one of the worst theme songs ever.
But at least they didn't have the lyrics in this one, which I was like better with, you know. Wait.
It was like, but I loved the ending to this match.
But
I like Demolition. I did like Demolition back in the day.
Yeah.
And I liked the ending when they wailed him with Mr. Fuji's cane, and like Fuji dropped it perfectly. The ref wasn't looking. It wasn't like earlier in the night when we've talked about the refs completely seeing things.
Well, for this period in the tag team division, I felt that Strike Force had completely run its course.
Yeah.
Maybe
and they
that
even
it was
came
a
back at
mistake.
WrestleMania 5, and then remember that was the one where Martel just walked out on Tito Santana versus the Brainbusters.
Okay.
So
it was very obvious in this event that they were not over. They were getting, you know, I think a lackluster reaction from the crowd. I think by 88 you're getting a little bit too far into just reality setting in, and a tag team like that with that music is just too corny. You know what I mean? It was time for them to lose the titles.
yeah, I agree. They were. I mean, come on. Strike Force. They were bootleg Can-Am Connection, and the Can-Am Connection wasn't even that cool.
What was the Can-Am Connection
It was
again?
Tom Zank and Rick Martel. One was from Canada, one was from America. Can-Am.
That was in
Connection,
WWF too?
Yeah, that was WWF.
Was that earlier?
It was WrestleMania 3 that you had a match.
Oh, okay.
Who'd they fight at WrestleMania 3? They fought Outlaw Ron Bass and Orton. Cowboy Bob Orton.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yep. And I think it was the opening match, actually. Okay, but
I'd
anyway.
agree.
So then Demolition goes into the back after they win the tag titles, cheat to win the tag titles using Mr. Fuji's cane, which is awesome anyway. They go in the back, have another promo where Axe is better than Smash. And then it's the main event, which is Macho Man Randy Savage
I gotta
versus
say,
Million Dollar Man.
DiBiase looks like a fucking $1 million. He looks exactly like $1 million.
But did he
I
come
agree.
out in the suit this time?
He came out in the suit.
Because I know one time he didn't.
Yeah, that was around the time. That was the last match before that when he won
Okay.
with the.
Oh, right after the Hogan Andre match.
He looks like $1 million. Hair is all fluffed for $1 million
All
perfection.
fluffed.
His
All
suit
80s fluff.
fluffed.
Just
$1
came out from
million.
watching something on his VCR.
Before we go
He was
to
blown away the way his hair looked. He looked great.
It was like the old, what are they, the video for tapes? When the guy's sitting
Yeah,
in the
the guy's
chair
holding
and
onto the
he
recliner,
pushes
it's just-
play, and it's like
the sound's just pushing
and
him
his
back.
hair pushes back. That's
Well,
DiBiase.
the way that worked, it made DiBiase's hair that much
I think it was
better.
Maxwell.
I just
Maxwell,
wanna,
yes, tapes, yeah.
Before we get too far, I just wanted to say that
Terrific.
out of all the tag teams in WWF history, the one most forgettable tag team and least deserving of the tag team title is Strike Force, is my opinion.
Oh, but you know what? I think
Really?
everyone who who knows Strike Force says they love Strike Force. You know what?
Really?
I was like, Strike Force. I was like, yes.
What kind of name
awesome.
is
I love
Strike Force?
No,
Like-
I don't know that actually. I don't know that.
You don't know that?
Well, I think
Well, I don't know where the name Strike Force
Oh,
came
okay.
from. This is what I know. And this is a good theme.
Demolition, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, it's great.
But
Even when they were bad. Even when they're bad, I don't remember a time hating Demolition.
what?
I
And
don't
this
remember
was-
a
these
time
guys were
hating
tag
them
team
when I was little,
champions.
You know, when I was a small guy.
No, they were legit tag team champions. They were tag team champions. They were good.
They're rough and tough, and no one can tell them apart. What do they have against them?
They were a great rip-off of LOD. Mm-hmm. They did it right, but
no, you're right. I agree. They were a total rip-off.
Absolutely.
But they definitely forged their own, and I think that's awesome.
So we're
at the main event.
To the main event. I'm sorry for digressing, but
$1 million suit, $1 million hair.
I'm very happy that the $1 Million Man is in the main event of a WrestleMania. One of the main reasons why I'm upset that Hogan and Andre
and I'm happy that Macho Man
is in the main event.
Yep.
I wish that
I like the presentation of the new belt, which everyone always calls the Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels belt, but to me it's the Macho Man belt.
Oh, about him bringing the belt down.
Robin Leach.
This event had the garter rails of the entranceway way too close, and everybody was getting touched and like
I think the point was the way he was coming down, he was letting people touch him, but he got scared people were going to take it at the same time. But I think the thing was to let people touch him before.
Eventually, he was dodging people.
It's like passing a new name in wrestling at that point.
Now, my question is, WrestleMania 5, was the entranceway bigger?
Yeah, a little bit, but they had a lot more security for the wrestlers and like Miss Elizabeth.
Okay.
Mainly Hogan, Savage, and Elizabeth, but I feel like they did it more to be like a boxing.
Okay.
All the guys in the Trump Plaza, like
it was going to be a grudge
security
match.
outfits.
It was a grudge match.
Well, it was a world title match too, but it was but this. I mean, I liked the presentation of the belt. I liked Euchre and Vanna, of course, coming down when their storyline then made sense again. And wasn't talking about Vance White.
I love that.
I didn't mention before.
Some guy named Vance White.
The coke him
She's
and
beautiful.
Ventura were doing, it just wore off.
Yeah,
he was just adamant. He couldn't think. He couldn't remember anything. He just remembered a guy named Vance. Probably sold him the coke before this and just was going crazy.
I honestly thought that this match was great. I thought everything about it was great. It was exciting start to finish. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I think it was above average to excellent.
By the way, Macho and Elizabeth came down in white this time.
Like
I was going to say that. I'm just going to get to the point. Like, I did not like Hogan taking Macho's spotlight.
Oh yeah, I actually that's the main point.
I agree. I agree.
I have here Hogan is to Macho as Andre is to DiBiase, and I would liken it to when they had the invasion angle. They had to stick Vince on WWF. They had to stick Stephanie on ECW, and they had to stick Shane on WCW. And they always try to overshadow the storyline or the angle or the match with larger concepts that they want to really jam down people's throat. So Andre Hogan was the larger picture. They had to make that. They had to connect it with the smaller picture.
I agree. And like I don't mind. Here's what I don't mind. I don't mind that Hogan came in down. I don't mind that Hogan and Andre were part of the match. I don't mind that Hogan hit DiBiase because I still find it as a legitimate win because Andre was fucking with Hogan and Macho Man for the whole match, and he was messing with Hogan, and DiBiase and him were messing with Hogan for the last like month or whatever. I do have a problem with once Macho won the belt, Hogan is like all over the cameras and all over the ring, and he tries to make it seem like
again, both at the same time.
He hugs him 50 times.
They shake hands no less than 4 times.
Yeah.
And like,
and a hug.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, man.
Oh, brother.
Seriously, congratulations, man.
Seriously, congratulations.
But that's, and then there's the famous.
I mean, he pulls out the Macho Man thing. Like the thing is, he's always trying to make it look like he's promoting the other guy, but he's really promoting himself because he pulls out the Macho Man thing, goes right in front of the camera, and like points it above his head, but it's him.
Does the twisty butt?
Yeah, and like I don't get it. I don't know why he had to be out there. Like, and another thing was Robin Leach was supposed to present that belt to the Macho Man. Right when that bell rang, Hogan ran, grabbed that belt, and ran and slid into the ring and gave it to the Macho Man.
They immediately ran out and grabbed the chair. No reason. DiBiase and Andre were not coming. He just got that chair and came back in the ring with it.
Yeah.
No one was coming.
You think he was supposed to grab the belt?
No,
like that?
actually, I have in this thing. There was a few things that little tidbits of information on the pay-per-view, and although the event was promoted as being at Trump Plaza, it was actually held adjacent at the Boardwalk Hall, which I knew.
So WrestleMania 5 as well did that?
Yes.
Did they mention the Boardwalk Hall?
WrestleMania featured this WrestleMania featured 16 matches, more than any WrestleMania.
4
to date. Yep.
Wow.
WrestleMania 4 and 5 are the only two event to be held at 2 consecutive venues. This is Hogan's only first WrestleMania where a disqualification occurred. This was Hogan's first and only time going to a draw at a WrestleMania. Hogan and Andre also have the distinction of being the first 2 wrestlers in the history of the main event to have a WrestleMania rematch. Although Robin Leach was supposed to present the WWF World Title to the winner of the tournament, Hogan ended up grabbing the belt and presenting it to Savage himself.
It out of someone's hand.
Ripped it out of his hand.
Like the pillow came with him, but it was falling out. It was just ripped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bizarre.
I watched more Hogan segments in this WrestleMania than I watched matches.
And he barely even wrestled.
One match.
Yeah.
So
and I watched more Hogan than anything, and Ventura.
And you know what else? Watch when Savage wins his title belt in WCW. Hogan does the exact same thing.
Really?
Exact same thing. I think it's Macho Man's second title win in WCW. I think. You have to check it out, but there's one Macho Man title win where Hogan literally recreates that moment, basically.
Really?
And just in the ring, will not leave him alone. Thanks, man. Congratulations, man.
I'm saying, you know what? As a kid, I probably loved it just the same.
No, I agree. As a kid, I didn't care.
I was like, yeah.
But now looking back at it, you're like, God, Hogan, give Macho his moment. Like,
yeah. That's
and Hogan was leaving. He was going to film No Holds Barred. Get the fuck out of here for a little while. Let Macho Man do it.
Which I just got on DVD and still is terrific.
Yeah. By the way, I can do a whole show on that. It's best movie ever.
I'd love that.
That's a good idea. We should do a show on that. Overall, a synopsis for me on WrestleMania 4 is that. There's a lot of things that I love about it. I love that the $1 Million Man is in the main event. Do not like how it's overshadowed by Hogan and Andre. But overall, like I said before, it's a good middle ground between the rock and wrestling era transitioning into the sort of character-based era with like everybody having music and stuff. So
put it this way, to me, I didn't know that Hogan was leaving for No Holds Barred. You have to remember I was 7.
Yeah.
Okay?
No,
so here's what I saw.
Nothing.
I saw an event where every match was a main event because every match meant a step forward in the tournament. Okay? I saw an event where Hogan and Andre, who everyone thought was like Hogan's going to win, get eliminated immediately. And then immediately my attention went to the Macho Man. Immediately, because they built it that way. And they did it perfectly. Yeah. It is my favorite WrestleMania. It is worth the 4 hours for the promos, for the uke, for Jesse the Body and Gorilla, for the Macho Man. It is friggin' worth it. I love it. It's my favorite WrestleMania. That's what I have to say.
Backstroke out.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. This was our WrestleMania 4 segment. This is the Midnight Jury. We're going to leave you, actually, with Macho Man's win. So that's going to be exciting. Another thing is, really quickly, I have to do this. We have our buddies at WCW and WWE at Facebook. Go on to Facebook, check them out. They're buddies of ours. I checked them out, and they've been helping us out. I want to mention them. I think it's facebook.com/WCW and WWE, but you can check WCW and WWE. You'll find them.
No, it's A&D WWE.
Yeah, A&D.
Okay.
They're amazing. They always have great pictures that they post up, old school stuff. Definitely worth a check out. And also the Michael Myers fan page. It's at facebook.com/Michael Myers fan page. And if you're into horror movies, you're into Halloween, check them out. That's another thing. But I want to end with Macho Man's win because not only one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but also my favorite WrestleMania of all time.
Right near the ropes is the Macho Man.
And you can actually hear the Hogan shit, probably.
Oh, he clobbered him in. Double man. Johnny Wonder referee did not see it. That's terrible.
could tell Jesse hates him.
Savage looking around, doesn't know. Now he's going to the outside.
This one, he goes up for the elbow, and this is a great elbow. So many flash
Picture
balls.
perfect going line.
There it is.
Hooks the leg. It's over. We have a new champion.
Never loved Macho Man's music.
I do. I didn't. When I was that age, I didn't. I had never been to a graduation.
Being a wrestling fan, to get to graduate and hearing the song, it's just like you know the Macho Man's playing, and you're getting up there, you're like, oh man.
I actually
I much
experience for wrestling fans.
I much prefer. Did it? What up, man? Did it? Ooh, yeah, did
this earlier. He said madness in his promo. One of the best shirts I ever wanted and I never got
Yeah, the
was
one that
him
just
in the
said
cage.
Madness? Oh yeah. I saw it on eBay.
Him in the cage. This is madness.
They have it on eBay. You can find it right now. I looked for it.
So good.
That's during era, right?
Yeah.
I love that shirt
Let's
too.
throw it out there again. Hogan with the tattoo.
Look, wait. I just want to point out that Jesse the Body is still.
Yes, Andre interfered early on in the match.
He's still on Hogan.
It took the Macho Man's intellect to send Elizabeth back, and look at the tears coming down the face
Of course.
of the first lady of professional wrestling.
I believe he is.
Elizabeth. And look at that. What intestinal force.
We gotta talk about them shaking
This
hands
is
again.
Macho Man's finest hour. Well, give it to him. You
I wish
win anywhere you
we could
can.
show them shaking hands.
Now the champion of the
I can get a shot.
unprecedented 4 victories.
Get it? Listen, I want to come back for WrestleMania 6.
Get a screenshot of them doing it each of the 4 to 5 times.
Each 4 times.
Whenever you can catch me around the world, I want to come back for WrestleMania 6 debate because I think it'll be a lot worthwhile. I was a child. That was my favorite WrestleMania for a long
What a threesome,
time.
Jess.
Look at that package.
Watch around this. Hulkamania. They're promoting Hogan.
Just Hulkamania running through Macho Man's veins. Win this match.
Oh, Jesse's coming out of retirement.
Like he did in the Running Man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Facebook.com/WLW Studios. We are the Midnight Jury. This was segment 2. This was WrestleMania 4. I'm Mike Norenganger.
I'm Adam Henning.
And I'm Tim Mayfield.
We'll see you next segment.
Has paid his homage to Elizabeth and given her the respect that she so rightly deserves. Now she's hoisted up on his shoulder with the gold.